didn't have experience. That's what happened. They probably underbid somebody that was top notch, that was going to do it perfect the first time, and it ended up costing them double, about like it does everything else, because they went with a bid probably that was a little bit cheaper than what the real boys was going to do it for. That's why you don't never go with the cheapest man. There's a reason he's the cheapest. He's going to cut corners. Man that's going to do it right, he's going to figure everything in there. He needs to do that job the way it needs to be done, where it'll hold up for years and years and years. He's going to figure out all his expenses, and he's going to figure up his time, because he's got to make something for his experience. And then he's going to give you a price. The man that's going to do it half a job, he's going to figure out, he's going to go there and rush it as fast as he can. He's going to use the cheapest labor he can use. He's going to use the cheapest materials that he can get by with. And he's going to hope to collect his money and run. He don't care about the thing working long term. So that's the difference in who you choose to do a job. That's just like me with these trucks and this vacuum truck, hydro excavating. I build these trucks. I work on these trucks. I've been messing with trucks since I was 20 some years old. I got a lot of experience and a whole lot of stuff. When I come on the job, I'm coming to take care of business. I ain't coming to try to make something out to be worse than what it is. Most of the stuff I run up on, it ain't nothing to me. It's nothing. So when I come to the job, I'm coming to the job myself. Owner, operator, with tons of experience. I'm gonna make your life as easy as possible. I'm not gonna try to get every job in the whole county or in the whole state. I'm not gonna hire anybody that I can hire that'll jump in a truck, and I'm not gonna send them out to your job and they get there and they half experience, or they've been hungover where they got drunk last night, or whatever the reason is. I'm coming myself. My name means a lot. I worked decades and decades, and a lot of times I work, not even been getting paid. I earned my experience that I got. It's not, I didn't go sit in a building somewhere. Somebody gave me a orientation for 30 minutes and then come run out to the job like I know what I'm doing. I've been doing stuff nonstop from sun up to sundown since I was in my 20s. That's over about 30 years. So when you call me to come and help you out, whatever it is, if I tell you I can do it and I'll take care of it, you don't have to worry about it. I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to bring the right equipment out there, whatever I need to get the job done. And if I get out there and I see I need something else, most of the time I can come right back here and get it. I got it. I got what I need to get the job done. I'm not trying to do everybody's job. I'm only one man. I'm not going to work for everybody. I can't work for everybody. I can't do everybody's job. And I'm not going to send somebody that I've hired off of the couch somewhere, off of the street. I'm not going to put them in one of my trucks and send them to your job. I'm going to personally get in that truck myself, and I'm going to come out there, and you're going to tell me what exactly you got going on and what you're looking to achieve, and I'm going to take care of it. It's just simple as that. This right here, what I'm doing right now. This is some of the stuff I do when I got a little bit of free time and I ain't working on my trucks. This is productive. It's gonna serve a purpose when I get done with it. and it's showing off some of my skill set. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just the tip. That's it. I built this little thing here from scratch. Scrap metal. Most of it scrap metal laying around here somebody went and got, but it's from scratch, every piece of it. And it takes time, but like I said, most of the stuff I run up on regular jobs, it don't even take a whole lot of effort to, figure out what needs to be done to take care of it. I've put in so much effort over the years and decades. Some stuff just natural to me, like going to sleep. That's how much effort I put into some stuff. It's like when I go in the house at night and I lay down and go to sleep. While I'm asleep, I don't put no effort in nothing. So, if you got a job, you got some problems, you need, something straightened out with a hydrovac truck or any kind of vacuum tankers. If you're in my area and you're a good client and I feel like we're a good fit, I could help you out. But like I said, I don't work for everybody. I don't work for people that don't like to pay. I don't work for third parties. So if you're a third party person, you want to go out and get a bunch of work and call me and I'm gonna go do it for you, and then you're gonna collect all the money and go run with my money, that ain't gonna happen. I don't work for third party people. If you want something like that done, you can call somebody else, or you can either go invest a couple $1 million in trucks and equipment, and you can do the work yourself like that. But I've dealt with so many shady people like that over the years, different businesses, that I don't do it. I don't work for anybody I feel like I got to risk my freedom to get my money from. All that church stuff, brother, this and that, I don't play that stuff either. I've dealt with ones over the past that they claim they in the church and all Bible, and them are some of the very ones that'll shaft you out of money and swear up and down, that they living for the Lord and all the Holy Bible and all this and that. If that's the way you got to live for the Lord, doing people that way, you'll have something coming for you sooner or later, I'm pretty sure. And to make a story about, a situation just like that happened on my end just a few months ago, was I had a fella. I know the fella for a little bit. I don't know him that good, but I know him for some years here and there, and he's a local dude. He's a local dude. So he called me, or he sent me a message about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, and he said, Mike, you want to buy a dump trailer? And I sent him a message back. I said, nah, I don't need one. I said, I got one over there, about a brand new one. I said, I ain't hooked to it in probably 8 months. And he's called me back, and he said, he called me, or I called him, I can't remember, but he said, I'm in a bind. He said, I got some boys on a job in South Carolina. They do some kind of mechanical work. And if you see this, you know who I'm talking about too, buddy. And he said, I got some boys on a job doing some mechanical work. He said, I got some material I need. He said, and I ain't got a count with the people. He said, I need to have that material for my boys up there by Monday. This was on a Friday, I think. It might have been on Friday, or it might have been a Saturday. I can't remember. But I said, I don't and the fella's name is Tim. That way you know I'm talking about you. And he said, I don't have an account with these people that's got the material, and I don't have the money to buy the material. He said, but I got this trailer, and he said, I'll let you have it at a good deal if you'll help me out. I said, well, Tim, I tell you what. I said, I'm going to town in a little while. I said, I don't need the trailer. He said he had somebody else wanting to buy it. I said, I don't need the trailer. I said, go ahead and let the other fella get it if he's going to get it. That's after I had went and looked at it. And I went and looked at the trailer. It was an old aluminum trailer, old East trailer. It wasn't nothing super fancy, but he said, I got this Mexican fella. He's made like he's wanting to buy the trailer, but he didn't come through today, or I ain't heard nothing out of him. And so I said, well, if he's going to buy the trailer, I said, you just go ahead and let him get it. I said, I really don't need it. So being that, I knew the fella, and him supposed to be in the church, and he was kind of in a business where, he's got men working for him, he's got him on a job, and, he finally got him some more work, and it could probably, help him and his family out if he could get the material and keep the boys on the job. It would be beneficial in the long run. So I said, I'll tell you what, I'll give you for the trailer. And it was a little bit less than what he told me. I said, I really don't need it. And I said, if the other fella wants it, let him come and get it. So he called me back, and he's texting me back. Like, time I message him, he's messaging back like before I can even let the phone back down on the ground. And so I ended up going out there getting the trailer from him. And I didn't test the trailer. It's just an old dump trailer. I didn't, I took the boys' word for it. They had been using it. And I didn't really hook my truck up because the truck that I had with a dump barrel on it, I was changing the pump on it at the time. So I didn't really, think about nothing wrong with the trailer. I just said, I gave them the check for it, and I drug it on here to the house. So, I guess probably about, a few weeks went by, whatever, month or so. I didn't really, the more I looked at the trailer, the more I knew I didn't have no use for it, and I didn't want it. And he had told me, he didn't want to get rid of his trailer. And so I offered it to him. I said, well, a few weeks, whatever, when you get a couple checks off of your job there, you can just buy the trailer back. I said, just, give me an extra $500. And so he never did get his money right. He never did come and get the trailer. So I got ready to get rid of the trailer. Or sell the trailer, trade it, whatever. So I had this fellow over there from Wyville. He got up with me. I had a couple people wanting to buy it, but they never did come. But I got up with a fellow from Wyville, and he come over here and he was going to trade me a flatbed trailer for the trailer. I didn't have any use for the flatbed either, but I had more use for the flatbed than I did the dump trailer. So long story short, he comes over here with his truck. I said, well, I told him straight up. I said, I've never lifted the trailer. I never dumped it. I said, the boys I got it from, he said they've been using it. I didn't see any oil leaks on it. They must have cleaned them up or whatever happened. I don't know. But he come over here with his truck and he hooked it to it. He started to raise it up, and he got to the third stage, and the trailer kind of dropped. And I said, well, it might be, something in your line. You might have air or something in your line. I said, let it back down and pick it up again. So he let it back down and went to pick it up again. Same thing. He got to the third stage, and it just pouring oil out of the third stage. As far as the ram going up. So he sold me a trailer with a bad ram on it, knowing that the ram was bad. The rams don't just go bad sitting there. If you've been using the trailer You just don't let it sit there for 2 months and it's gone bad. Mine's been sitting over there for a year. I can go over there and hook to it. It'll go straight up, no problem. So I got in contact with him. I told him the ram weren't no good on the trailer. And I had to end up, I told the boy that come up here when he come to trade with the trailer, I knew once I saw that ram leaking on it, it was getting out of my yard. Whether it got out of it, whether he took it out there, or whether I took my machine and crushed it up and got it out of my yard, because I just didn't want the junk in my yard no more. And so I told the boy, I said, well, it's probably cost about $2,000 to rebuild that ram. That's about what it costs. I said, if you want the trailer, if you want to trade, I said, I'll trade with you, and I'll pay the bill, to rebuild the ram on the trailer. I said, the dude lied to me. He told me it was a good trailer. They have been using it. I never lifted it up. So I got back, I went ahead and wrote him the check for the $2,000. We changed the titles. He went ahead and left with the trailer. So I got back on the phone. I was trying to call this boy. He won't answer his phone. He won't never. I sent him messages about the trailer. He won't never answer his phone. Won't message back. So finally, I forgot what I sent him in the message or whatever, and he finally ended up messaging me back and calling me back. He's just telling me, that the trailer was good. He swear this and that, and he gonna give me $1,000 of my money back. So I kind of figured I wasn't gonna get my money back out of him right then, and that's been a few months ago, and I ain't seen him nor heard nothing out of him. And he's one of them old brother church holding Bible people. So that's why I say I got a lot of, I believe in the Lord, and I don't go to church and hang around a bunch of hypocrites and all that stuff. But don't come at me with that stuff like that, and knowing good and well that you ain't worth nothing. You ain't worth nothing. And I thought the boy was a better man than what he was, but I got, and I ain't even gonna say it on TV or on no video, but I thought he was a better fella than what he was. But the only way I get my money out of him right now is to put my freedom at jeopardy. And I still got some stuff I want to do at this point. So we'll just put that on hold for now. So I don't, when somebody starts talking all that holy mess too much, I'm probably going to want a deposit from you. If you don't like it, call somebody else. That's just it. That's how the cookie crumbles. But people think they're smart and they think they're slick. Like I said, I've been doing stuff for a long time. Seen a lot of stuff, done a lot of stuff. Local people around here that know that live around here or whatever, they don't even have a clue of who I am or what I know or anything. As far as they know, they think I just pump out septic tanks. That's it. He pumps out septic tanks. And by people not knowing anything or much about who I am or what I know or what I do or capable of doing, that's good. It allows me to slip right up on people. I can walk right up in a crowd of people and they talking this and talking that, and they don't know I got tons of experience and all kind of stuff, and I can call them out for their BS if that's what they're doing. So that's how it works. We're going Kayla used to love to play with that stuff when it was hot. It gets hot. When she was little, she got in there in that barn. She loved to play with that stuff. And she just liked to play with it. Yeah, it gets hot. That's that chemical reaction bond whatever. But yeah, people think they slick, but uh-huh. We're gonna let that harden just a little bit longer, and then we're gonna sand on it some.